Hey, what's up? It's Philip, and as you may notice behind me, today we are creating a Fortnite game. It will be a beginner-friendly step-by-step tutorial. This game is available for you to test it out, to play it out with other people. If you go over here under the search and type in Arrow, and over here you can see this Arrow Clash Arena, or you can just paste this code that I will provide you in the description below, so you can access it via this code. So click it over here and click select and you are inside. So without further ado, let's start playing, playing and creating our game. To start, you need to have two things. First is the Unreal editor for Fortnite and the Fortnite game itself. You can type in over here UEFN and install the editor, and we will need a Fortnite so we can test our game when it's done. So to start, after you install these two things, just click launch this editor for Fortnite. After the load is complete, you can see this project browser, and over here you can see this Marksman Arena. This is my main project that I use to publish my game, and some test islands over here. You can see over here on the left side your projects. When you're starting your new game, you can see island templates, and you can see over here different starter islands that can help you start your game if you don't want to start with a blank game. Also, we have Lego islands and feature examples if you want to test some new features of UEFN. You can see the docs, community and getting started guide over here. So let's go back to my projects. Let's start creating our game. I will go over here under the island templates and we will choose this blank template, and you can select your project location over here where you want your project to be saved and the project name. This will be our tutorial. On the right side you can see Unreal Revision Control. Make sure it's enabled, and if you have a team, right now we don't have a team, you can assign your team. This means that multiple people can work together on your project. When you are ready, just hit create, and we are now inside our editor. Let me just introduce you with some basics. To move around, just right mouse button and look around and press W, A, S and D keys, just like in a first-person shooter. Or if you're coming from the Unreal Engine, then commands will be very similar to Unreal Engine 5. Press E and Q to go up and down, and if you want to slow down the camera while you are roaming around, just move mouse wheel down, and if you want to speed up, move it up. If you get lost, something like over here, you can see on the right side it says outliner. Over here you can select items in your level. So select your player 1 spawn pad. So if you get lost, press F to focus it, so you can easily move around your level. And for example, grid plane 4, you can focus this and go back to player 1 spawn pad. Also, if you select the spawn pad, you can see these arrows. This means that you can move these things around by using these arrows. And if you want to move this in for example in this plane, you can select this middle or this one on the Z-axis, and over here on the Y-axis. Press E to change to the rotation tool, and press R to scale these things up, and go with Ctrl Z to undo these things. If you select your object, you can see on the right side lots of details under the details pane over here. So you can choose this location, rotation and scale. You can change also, for example, rotation over here, for example like this, and if you want to reset your rotation, press this, reset this property to its default value, and it will go back to the beginning. Don't worry about all these options over here, because we will not use them all. And as we introduce more assets and more devices, we will get lots and lots of information and lots of options. But as I said, don't worry, if you have a specific gameplay, you will need a specific options and properties. So don't worry about the overwhelming process of this Unreal Engine editor. Up here we can see the save, so make sure to save it regularly. Selection, landscape, foliage, modeling, animation. I will cover everything as we work on our project, so we don't need to go over every tiny bit of detail over here. So let's start creating our game. It's very easy and very straightforward to do. Luckily we have all the assets that we need for our project. So let's delete everything, including this player 1 and player 2 spawn pad. And if you click this, you can see this note. This is very important part of the Fortnite game creation. This is our island settings. And if you select it over here in the outliner, you can see that we have like 1 million options over here, which will allow us to create various type of games, and we can practically make any game inside this Fortnite if you use this Verse Explorer and make some programming. By the way, we will not use any programming at all. I want to keep this simple because this is a beginner level tutorial. So let's add our arena, for example. Make sure that in the content browser you click select all, and over here type arena. And you can see that it already says Colossal Colosseum. So we'll just drag and drop this to our level. This is a fairly big arena, and we will not doing this by hand because we already have these assets over here, but as you can see, you need to wait for a little bit so you can see this arena over here. And we can keep it as it is. So our gameplay will be over here. The first thing we want to do over here is to change these doors so we can make them to be open and put the spawn point inside it so the player can spawn after they die inside. So to do that, select this door and simply press delete on your keyboard. And if we go inside, you can see everything. And now we need to add another door. To find our door, let's go over here under the all and type in bunker. Just drag and drop these wall doors over here and make it go a little bit inside your level, something like this, okay? And if we go inside, you can see how it looks. Another thing, let's add a bunker wall over here. Just drag and drop it here and let it go over here. And inside over here, we will make our spawning pad. So let's add a spawning pad. Go over here under the all. You can clean this and click and type in spawn. And you can see over here it says player spawner. So drag and drop it here. And make sure to rotate it so it faces the exit of our level, for example, like this. Make sure to save everything over here. Okay, let's add another wall and another door. So delete this and add a player spawner inside and type in over here bunker and add a door here and add another bunker wall here and rotate this spawner to face the exit. And let's do this over here. Add player spawn here. And let's do this for this one. Delete this. Position it. Okay, we now have 4 spawning points, so let's save everything. And the next step is to add our pillars over here. And to find our pillar, just type in over here spike, and we will find this Coliseum spike pillar number 1 and drag it over here. And as you can see on the floor we have our measurements, so we can easily, for example, add pillar here and press R to make it bigger. And if somehow you bring this very high, you can drop it by hitting End on your keyboard and it will fall here. So, and now to duplicate it, hold Alt on your keyboard and move it here, for example. Okay, let's position this one here, and let's position this one here and here. And the next thing we want to do is to add some burning candles, torches to the walls. So go to all over here and type in torch, and we will find a nice wall torch to add it to our level. And we already have this. It says Coliseum wall torch 1. So let's just drag and drop it here. And let's position it so it's on the wall. If you want to remove all these helpers, you can press G so you can see torch, but this helps you. If you select Coliseum wall torch, you can see all the options over here. You can see the emissive intensity, volumetric scattering intensity, and so on. You can play with all this, but for now we'll just use this as it is because it looks fine. We'll move it to the wall and move it a little bit inside so it's perfect. Press G so we can see how it looks, and it looks just fine. Maybe a little bit higher over here, for example, and it looks nice. Now let's copy paste this, hit Alt and move it, for example, over here. Press Alt to move it here, Alt and move this here. So let's select all these torches. Select the first one, hold Ctrl to select all 4 of them. And what we are going to do now is we're going to hold Alt and copy it to the other wall. So copy it, press E and rotate it by 180 degrees. Make sure that this enables and disables snapping is enabled. Press W and position it on the wall like this and move it here. As you can see, it looks good. If we press G, you can see that our torches are just fine. Okay, not really. Press G and move it just inside the wall. And now they look nice. We can move this over here and move this one here. And let's add a few torches over here. Add one. And move it up. Move here and move here. And now select all 3 of them by holding Ctrl. And as you can see, we can copy paste it and move it to another side. You can rotate it by 180 degrees. And now move to the wall and fix them on the walls like this. Okay, we have our torches, so we will go Ctrl Shift and S to save everything. The last thing we want to do with our environment is to change the floor. So make sure to select the floor over here, and on the right side you can see that says materials. So we'll change this material with click it over here and type in floor. This stone floor. You can find materials over here, but as you can see, if we choose material, it will add either this one or, for example, bound solid, it will add this one, but we want to add a default material. So you can just click here, reset this property to its default value, and it will give us the best material. Okay, we can now just hit Ctrl Shift and S to save everything. We are practically done with our environment. If you want, you can click over here, check in changes, click it, and now Unreal check out for changes in assets over here. This is important because it's a very valuable part of project management, team processes, and quality control. It maintains a single source of truth for the project and developers. Later, if you have a complex project, I think it will be very useful for you. So just type in change list description, done with environment, and click submit, and Unreal will check out the changes. It will upload to revision control. We are now done with our environment completely. We uploaded everything, we make changes, and we want now to create rules for our level and create some game and change some game options so we can create our gameplay. To do that, we will use the devices. Devices, if you go on the left side, you can see over here, They're a very powerful tool that you can use without to know how to program in Verse or C++ or everything like that. So we can change, for example, if you go to AI, you can see that you can add creature placer, which will define the creatures, creature spawner, guard spawner. You can see the audio mixer, audio player. You can see all the different for example, gameplay devices that you can add the damage volume. For example, over here, if player comes into the damage volume, it will die. But you can see also you can add the teleporter here, and so on, so on. You can see on the left side that we have lots and lots of devices. But the goal here is not to use too many devices because it can overflow our memory. This is because we have fixed and limited amount of memory that we can use, so we need to use it wisely. Later I will show you how to check out your memory so you can be sure that everything is okay. The first thing we want to change is to change our island settings. Where is our island settings? As you may remember, we use our island settings, so just type in island in the outliner and you can see island settings. Press F and you can see it's over here. My recommendation is that you can move these settings over here so you can have it always handy, but you can also find them in the outliner on the right side and select it. Make sure it's selected. We can close this, and now we will change some options over here. First of all, we want, since this is a 1 versus 1 game, we want to have 2 players, so change this max players to be 2. Okay, the next thing is class identifier. Change this default class identifier to be class slot 1. If you go over here under the devices and type in class, you can drag and drop this class designer over here, and this class designer, we will tell inside of this class designer that we want, let me show, over here we will define how our player will behave. So we will give them items, we will define the health, we will define the shields and so on. Everything you can do inside this class. If you're making a complex game, you can make classes and change the classes. For example, one to be tank, DPS or healer or something like that. So let's go back to our island settings. Class, we want this class identifier to be 1. The next thing is we want to time countdown. Over here we want to have 5 seconds to count down before the game starts. Let's type join in progress. We want to change this to be spawn, just to click to be spawn. Because if you choose spawn on the next round, if we don't have enough players, you can't die and we can't spawn, and this was a huge problem for me when I was creating this game, so I changed this to spawn. So no matter what, if you enter the game, if you wait, if another player join it, it will join immediately to your game, it will spawn. So make sure that join in progress is spawn. So type in eliminations, and over here under the eliminations, this down but not out to be off. We want the player to be eliminated and to go back to the spawner immediately. We want eliminated players' items, so the player keep its items. Because we are using the same bow, we don't need any items. But if you want a player to drop certain items, make sure to use this option, definitely. Scoring. Find the elimination score and put it to 1. Every time you kill someone, you will get the score of 1. Of course, you can also make the score to be 5. So every time if someone score a kill, it will get 5 points, 10 points, 25 points, doesn't matter. I want this to be simple, so if you kill your enemy once and you get 1 point, and okay, save now, and if you kill it 3 times, you will get 3 points, and we will define the win condition soon. So we go to spectating, make sure this is allowed, allow spectating other teams, this allowed. Let's go with the victory condition, game win condition. No, not most rounds win, but most score wins. That's why we set the score to be 1. So most score wins. Type in game winner display time to be 10 seconds. So after you eliminate your opponent, you will get the 10 seconds end screen that says that you are winner. And now let's type in eliminations. to end. This means that we want 5 eliminations is needed to win a game. Okay, you don't need these AI enemy eliminations because we don't have AI enemies, just ourselves and our human opponents. Let's now go over here and type in round winner display time to be 5 seconds, and round score display time to also be 5 seconds, so we can show our score on the end screen. Also, we want to disallow building. We will type in none, so no building is allowed. We want for our player to have infinite reserve ammo, so type in infinite reserve ammo is okay. Environment damage, we want to turn this off. After that, we want to disable enable fire, and over here we will type in HUD, and under the HUD info type we want this to be score, so our interface will show the score. We want not AI elimination or objectives, just the score, so how many times we actually eliminate another player. We don't need map for this purpose, so we will display over map, make sure it's false, so we will disable the map. Resource count, we want to disable the resource count, stone, metal and so on, because we will not build inside our level anything. And scoreboard, game score display time to also be 5 seconds. And we are practically done with our island settings, so make sure to save everything. This is a super tedious and very boring process over here, but when you know all these settings it will be very fast for you to create it. But for first it's very tedious, very complex, and it has lots of things to think about it. So don't worry, with time, with lots of games you create, it will be easier and easier for you to do this. Another thing we want to add before we add a class designer is our HUD device. Go over here on the devices, type in HUD and drag and drop it to your level. This device is responsible for displaying things on our screen. We don't have much things over here, so you don't need to worry about at all. So all we need to change is to go over here, show minimap, no, we don't need minimap, show build menu, no, player inventory, no, show wood resources, just type in no for all these resources, we don't want to see them on the screen, storm timer, no, round details, no, show team info, no, because we don't have teams, we don't want to show the health bar because we will add the health of 1 inside our class designer. No health numbers. We don't need shields, neither the shield numbers. Don't display battle pass UI. No to crafting resources. No to pick up stream. And we don't want to show the equipped item info like this. And we are done with our HUD. So save everything. And let's go to the most important thing. This is a class designer, so make sure to select your class designer over here, and we will change some options over here. Make sure to enable this class identifier because our island settings will use this class, as you can see, class slot 1. This should be our class slot 1. Over here, max health. Make sure the max health is 1 so we can instantly kill our opponent with only 1 arrow. And the important thing is that we want to go to our item list. As you can see over here, item list, 0 array element. So click over here plus button, expand this, and item definition. Over here under the drop down menu, type in makeshift bow and choose the bow, item quantity to be 1. And let's add arrows, so click add element, and over here expand this and type in arrow and type item quantity to be like 500, although we define this to be infinite. The problem is sometimes this Fortnite can be buggy, and so we make sure that we have like 500 arrows at all times in our class, so in our player. So we can just close everything, and we need to go over here under the advanced, equip granted item to be first item. And this means that this item, this bow, will be the first item in our inventory, so it will be automatically equipped, so you don't need to worry about equipping it later or picking up from the floor or something like that. Let's type in infinite. Make sure that we have infinite reserve ammo and infinite consumables, just in case if something is bugged with our weapons. Another thing, we want to change eliminated. We want the eliminated player items to keep, resources to keep, game resources to keep. So it will keep everything in itself, so nothing will be lost on elimination. And practically we are done with our game. Let's save it, and believe it or not, we have our game ready. So all we need to do is to click over here, launch session, and it will now launch our Fortnite from the Epic launcher. I will go back, I will pause the recording and go back when it's open. As you can see in the top menu, you can see that it says session connected, start the game. So let's click play, and if you click play and go to your Fortnite, we'll be able to start playing our game. For example, go over here and click it open, and we can shoot, and we can see our environment all around our level. All we lack is a good player that we can compete against. So go back to Unreal Editor and hit over here end game. We need to stop the game, and now I will show you that we need to push changes. Over here you can see this button that says push changes. It says no changes have been made during the edit session. This is because we didn't connect the session at the start, but at the end. So make sure that you always click over here when you are done with your game, to always click these push changes. And this will make sure that all the informations are sent to Fortnite server, so it will work flawlessly. Right now I will go to File, and I will open my project, and just click continue to load, and I will load my Marksman Arena so I can show you how to publish the game. Okay, we are now inside our Marksman Arena, or the Arrow Clash. If you are playing on a Fortnite, go to project, and over here we need to launch memory calculation before we publish our project, and we need to upload to a private version. Make sure to click launch session, so we can play our game. But most important is that we close this game now, so click end game, so we can run memory calculations. The game is closed, so we can go to project, and we can click launch memory calculation and click calculate memory, and it will automatically upload to the private version in your Fortnite creator portal. It says that this is within the budget. We have 17,000 out of 100,000 units or something like that. It doesn't matter. So we are way below the budget, and the game will run smoothly. And it says that we didn't make any changes in the project since, so new calculation is not required. You can click calculate anyway. When you click on run private version, it will take you to the creator portal over here, and you can see that we have publishing, analytics, monetization, taxes, but over here you can see these private versions. It will firstly publish to your private version, and we go to the public releases. You will need to go publish a new release and choose the private version over here that you just made inside Fortnite. Unfortunately, I will not do this, because this Arrow Clash Arena is now just fine, and all of this that you can see, this grayed out, is my previous iterations of a game that I create, and this is the final, this gray one. I will not run you through the process of creating account for a creator portal. I will leave you a link in the descriptions that you can follow to create your account on the creator portal, and where you can publish your games. So this is it. After you've done that, you will be able to publish your game and play with your friends. And this is it for me for this tutorial. If you find it helpful, let me know in the comments below, drop some subscribes and drop some likes, and be sure to check out the channel for other tutorials, mainly Unreal Engine 5, but in the future I'm planning creating more games and creating tutorials for those games, also beginner friendly. See you in some other video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.